Hey guys, what's up? This is Dave from ConMenRDW here, and I'm here with a very special guest. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
What's up, guys? I'm N64Josh. How the heck are you guys doing?
Yeah, and this is not the Nintendo Powercast, but we are doing a nice little discussion on really cool Nintendo tech that just got dropped today. Nintendo Labo. Nintendo Labo, which is basically, I guess, the new Toys to Life, but not really.
I like how you said tech, because it's cardboard.
It's cardboard, but it's so cool. It's so cool. So, pretty much, earlier today, Nintendo basically dropped a tweet, and it was pretty much saying that there's going to be a new experience for players, mainly for children, but those who are, like, children at heart. And everyone's like, oh, what the heck does this mean? What are they going to drop on us today? I hope it's not a new Switch, because I just got one on Christmas. But luckily it was not any new hardware, but more like new cardboardware or something like that. Because pretty much we got Nintendo Labo, which is basically, it's like imagine Legos, but like cardboard. And it's like paper crafts, but it's also, you can put your Switch into it and your Joy-Cons, and like you do all sorts of stuff with it. Like you can make a piano and a fishing rod and like a motorcycle handlebars, and there's so much stuff that goes on with this, and everyone's still trying to piece together what's going to go on with this when it's released in April, which is a lot sooner than I think most people thought it would have been released, for them to just drop it like this with no warning whatsoever. But what do you think about this, Josh?
You know, at first, like, my initial response was like, are they seriously going to sell us cardboard? You know, like,
yeah,
that was kind of what was going through my head. It was like, almost like, Nintendo, you've been doing so great. What is this? Mm-hmm. You know, like, are we taking a step backwards? But upon watching the video a few more times, like, I think this is pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to checking it out, honestly. Like, especially the piano. I think that's probably one of the things that has me the most intrigued, is like, can I like legit play songs on
it's like full 13
cardboard
keys, so like you can actually play full songs on that thing. I'm looking forward to seeing what like musical like YouTubers do with that thing. That's gonna be insane. Pretty much like with the Nintendo Labo, do you think this is type of like a new Toys to Life or craft to life thing that Nintendo's trying to get going here? Like, since like Skylanders and all that died off like seemingly last holiday season, is Nintendo trying to start something new here? Or,
you know what I see, like what I think honestly is, I think Nintendo is giving kids an alternative to constantly staring at a screen. Mm-hmm. And this is giving them the ability to put something together, to use their hands, use their imagination, while still interacting with technology. And so I think it's a really cool thing. And we just found out before we started recording that you don't have to buy the cardboard kits.
Which
from
blows my mind. Yeah, that's
Nintendo. You can just get the patterns. Well, now that opens up to, like, maybe we see a Switch in a schoolroom, like in a kindergarten class or first grade class, and you know, the class is putting stuff together and getting to interact with the Switch that way, and you know, there's a lot of possibilities. And again, it's typical Nintendo, right? Like, they will put out something that, and we haven't touched it yet,
something, and pretty much be like, now you do it, now you do something with this,
that, and it's like, we didn't realize we wanted this, which is a lot of times how Nintendo works, right? It's like, and on the surface, if you tell somebody, yeah, I got this Switch and now I'm building these cardboard origami things and I'm putting my Switch in it, and they're gonna be, you know, like, it's crazy, imagine that pitch. Somebody's gonna be like, what are you talking about? Like, you're out of your mind, you know?
It's kind of funny because, like, I was actually, over the last couple months, I've been telling people that Nintendo should probably make sets of Joy-Cons without the HD rumble or without the IR sensor, because literally no one's using it. And here this comes, where apparently with the piano, you put a Joy-Con in there with the IR sensor, and then the keys have reflective tape on them, and that's how the game knows what key is being pressed because the IR sensor sees it. And I'm like, oh well, yep, they can't get rid of that. That's a good implementation of that because no one's done it except them since like 1-2 Switch. So Nintendo knows how to use their tech.
Right, and the other thing I've heard with that IR sensor, you saw how they put a camera together, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly, and this is, I mean, obviously, all this stuff is so like just fresh. We don't, there's rumors, leaks, that kind of stuff. So like, take this with a grain of salt. But from what my understanding, from reading some other, I don't know if it was Reddit or other chats or something, that IR sensor will actually take a photograph that's 240 by 240. So
like kind of like the old Game Boy camera back in the day. Like
I guess, but again, don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
That was just somebody was like, hey, I think this leaked, but it could be fake. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but if that's because I'm wondering, like, what is this camera taking pictures of? But if it's a game tied to the Switch where you're kind of just, I don't know if the Switch is telling you to kind of point at different directions.
I know it said it could like follow, like find shapes and stuff, but I don't know how clearly it can get actual images with the camera. But I don't know. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So, here we are.
Yeah,
talking about Nintendo and cardboard. I'm baffled.
It's really cool. So let's go actually down the pricing, because actually Nintendo, right after they dropped the Labo trailer, they sent people a link to a website where they can actually get more in-depth details on what people are going to be buying, the type of kits that they're going to get, what comes in those kits. So I pretty much looked up that. Also, it's really cool the name that they gave these things, Toy Cons. That's adorable. That's really smart. I like that.
That's funny.
So pretty much there's the 2 sets that are going to launch on the launch day of 420. So we got the Toy-Con Set 1, which is the variety kit. That's going to retail for $70, $69.99 US. And in that box, you're going to get a lot of stuff, actually, which is pretty surprising. You get the 2 RC cars, which is like 2 Joy-Cons on a thing, and then the HD Rumble makes them go forward on a table. You get the fishing rod. You get the house, you get the motorbike handlebars, and then you get the full thing for the 13-key piano. And all of that is in one box, $70, and hours of construction in that one box, which is crazy to me. And then you get the second kit that is the robot, which is pretty much just like a full backpack with all the gears and whistles inside of it. And then like a headband that you put one of your Joy-Cons on, and then things that go on your feet and your hands. And that goes for $80, $79.99 retail. And yeah, that's all you get in there. But that one's probably going to be like 5 hours estimated, probably build time, 3 to 5 hour build time. So I don't think those prices are too much. Some people think it's a turnoff. I think it sounds just about right, considering that you can also still buy Legos, and Lego prices that I've seen around that price for the amount of stuff that you get. I think that's pretty much a good price. And like also standalone with the game, I think the games would probably go like $40 standalone. So you get a $40 game plus like the $40 worth of cardboard. So I don't think it's too bad of a price. I was actually estimating like $100 when this first started. So
yeah, it seems like a good amount of stuff. Like to be honest, I was just looking at my phone at this website, and so I didn't even realize how much was coming. I just kind of looked at the first one and thought like, oh, this is one of the deals. Like that seems a little steep, but seeing that it's the piano, the fishing bowl, all that other stuff,
yeah,
like that's, I mean,
like
this is one of those things that like I'll get. My kids are a little bit older, but like I have nephews and stuff that like they would probably just be all over this, And but even my kids, they might be into it as well, because this is just not the norm. This isn't what people are typically doing nowadays.
Like the demographic Nintendo's going for with Nintendo Labo is like, on their website they actually have a thing that they're trying to get people to bring their kids out to, which is kind of sad, because me being a 20-something, I want to play with this, but they're like, if you want to check out Nintendo Labo with your kids, if you have any kids like ages, I think they said 3 to 12, and you live near like San Francisco or New York, which I don't, but I don't have a kid, so it don't matter. But if you have a kid, come to this thing. So like, yeah, the ages 3 to 12 demographic seems about the right age that they would probably shoot for. But like I said, I'm 20 something and I'm looking at this like I need to get my hands on that cardboard. So
what was your initial response when you saw this? Were you like, what the heck am I watching? Was it
when I
just
first saw
hype?
it, I was confused because I was like, intricate paper crafts? What do they have me doing here? Then I saw the piano and the fishing rod and I was like, this is so extra. This is so much. But I'm so interested because I did like Legos as a kid. I liked making full Lego sets and like Connect and all that type of stuff. So I was really like a crafter when I was a kid. So this actually does kind of bring me back to that and does enlight the inner child in me, like they were talking about. So this is something that I'm totally interested in. I totally dropped the $80 or $70 for these things for sure.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm still just like, what? It's wicked creative, you know? Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Like, so and who knows? I wonder how far it's gonna go. Like seeing all the pulleys and the kind of stuff that was in the backpack with that robot game.
There were so many gears and wires. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and did that robot not look like Optimus Prime? I was like, what? And then it turns into a car, and I was like, interesting.
So apparently all the Nintendo fans that have like been sticking with like those Easter eggs and those like long canceled projects. Apparently, there was a game that was supposed to come out on the Wii U that Miyamoto was working on called I think Project Giant Robot or something like that. And I think I actually also remember seeing gameplay of this back in the day, like early Wii U days, and it never got released. And this is basically what happened with that project. Project Giant Robot became Nintendo Labo Robot or whatever this is. So that looks really cool that they ended up recycling that idea and made it into something more fun down the line. So it's really dope.
Yeah, it again, just the fact that IR sensor is going to be like picking up the reflective spots in that piano and in that backpack and what, like this it's very intriguing. It's very intriguing, and I'm curious. You know, sometimes things can look really cool in a commercial, but I'm curious for the real life application and how well it's gonna do.
Yeah, considering that you also have kids too, like since they're basically catering this towards the younger audience, and like even in the advertisement pictures that I'm seeing on the Labo website, they're showing parents with their kids at like a table, all the cardboard laid out, crafting these things with their kids and then playing the games with them. So that's probably going to be like a whole new experience for you instead of like playing just a straight up game, like actually crafting like this whole thing with your kids and then watching them play it and having fun with it with their Switch. So that's going to be really interesting to see, and I'm looking forward to like seeing how people that do have kids and play Nintendo games already interact with this and see how this is a whole different experience for them.
And you know what? I can totally get how some people are like, what is this? Why is this? Mm-hmm. You know, like this is not going to be for everybody.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's no way around that. Like if you like your main game is like Call of Duty or Doom or you know what I'm talking about, like mostly just mature stuff, like this may not be for you, but at the same time, who knows? You may be just intrigued by just how creative this is and that it's something entirely different. Other than like Google Cardboard, we haven't really seen anything else like this, you know.
If anything, this would cater back to like the 90s kids, because like I don't even know how often kids nowadays even play with Legos and stuff like that or physical toys. But the fact that this is mixing their new like video game console that their parents probably got them last Christmas, and now they have this whole new thing that's like it's not just Legos, but their Switch goes with it too. That's gonna be really really dope to see kids messing around with this type of thing. But yeah, so I actually have a really strong burning question with this myself. Even though people are taking, like, they said with the piano, it's going to take like 2 hours to build. The fishing rod, it's going to be like 2 hours to build. Even like with RC cars, like as little as 15 minutes. But even after you go through the experience of building these things, and then you finally are done with it, and you're playing the game, and you get the satisfaction out of that, and then those 5 hours are done, will the games be like standalone worth it, other than like building these things and going through that experience. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are these actually going to be things that you go back to every once in a while and play around with? Or will it just be like a one and done type of situation? Now you just have these Labo sets laying around the house.
I mean, it's a good question. It's really it's gonna depend on the gameplay, right? Like, hopefully the piano is a tool that can actually teach how to play piano. Yeah, as well as just being a free, you know, like almost like a rock band kind of deal, where like if you can play, you learn to play the song, and the better you get, the higher the score you get. Like, that's an incentive to get kids and possibly even adults playing piano. That is a good thing in my mind. That is teaching you a skill that, you know, who knows what you can do with that down the road. Learning piano is great. The other thing that I think is really cool is that it's just imagination is going to be just sparked. You know, looking at that remote control car thing, we don't know what kind of game it is. Do you try to drive it around to collect stuff on the screen, or what? You know, like we don't know what it is.
And just make your imagination with that or something.
Yeah, who knows? But looking at the way those things are designed, those would be the easiest to go, hey, I want to make my own little critter or whatever, and try to come up with my own different designs, you know, so that kids could kind of have free reign of how they were, you know, going to make these little critters. So it really is going to just depend on the games and what the gameplay is like, and, you know, to how much they're going to get played. I think one of my biggest concerns is just that, I mean, if I got nephews who are like ages like 1 to 6, right? And they're like bulls in a china shop, and so like I could just see them like body slamming each other right onto the piano like like a wrestling match, and you know, then it's game over at that point.
Even since we were even talking about earlier how this new story developed, where it's like you can just make the crafts without even having to buy the kits themselves, like the $70 kits. You could probably just buy the game standalone. That's what's making me wonder how good these games are going to be by themselves, even without the full kit. So that's going to be something interesting to see people messing around with for sure. How these games are even without anything. Like if you're just playing the game, like just the Switch and Joy-Cons, how fun can those be, even if you don't have the build to put it in. But yeah, it's gonna be.
To me, fun. I don't see them being too much fun, honestly. Just kind of, it looks like especially the piano. If you don't have everything you need to make that work, you'd never go back to that game.
Yeah. Then again, I've seen people make full-on songs with Majora's Mask 3D's. What was it? The Deku horn or whatever. Like just playing full instruments on a 3DS, so it'd be interesting seeing people just play the full keys with the Joy-Con by itself. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. So I actually also had another idea with this, that with the Labo, Nintendo could actually probably put their own IPs into these instead of having them just be their own standalone lab type of games. They could probably put Nintendo IPs into them. So like with the fishing game, instead of just catching regular fish and that's it, they could probably like implement Animal Crossing into it. So now you're just an Animal Crossing villager fishing for fish, and then you catch those and you can sell them or something, and then get like skins for yourself or something. With the motorbike game, you could probably have like Wario, and he's like on the motorbike. Like Mario and friends, you could probably have them inside of the house, and you could like play around with them that way. Or like maybe Mario and friends with piano and learn like Mario songs. Or even with like the Mega Robot, you can have like Star Fox implemented into that and like swat down R-Wings like when you're walking around or something. Like I could see them doing that and make it a little bit more interesting down the line if they wanted to add more instead of just being the base game.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the kind of thing where we'll see like sequels, or you know, it's even just it's intriguing just wondering what will the sequels be for this? What is the progression of this new line? You know, and it'll probably depend on how well it does.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna sell actually surprisingly well for sure. Like I said, like even like it's getting a whole bunch of older audience people of Nintendo interested. So even like the kids, I'm sure they're even gonna want to get it. Even if they don't want it and they get it as like a surprise gift, they're still gonna want to like put it together and still like play with their Switch in this thing. So that's pretty interesting to me. Imagine like just getting like how the Switch can dock in like the piano or something like that, and then just switching to another game. So you're playing the piano, and then you're like, I want to play Odyssey. Have it still in the piano. Just start playing Odyssey with it dock like that. Like the Switch is so interesting how it's doing all of this extra stuff, but it's still just a straight up regular game console. Like this is probably as gimmicky as the Switch has gotten since 1-2 Switch. And It like blows my mind that this can still run like all the other major third-party games still. Like that's crazy to me. Like we're in a good time.
Absolutely. We really are.
So do you think that we're actually gonna get more Nintendo? Like you said earlier, you said we're probably gonna get more Nintendo Labo. What do you think they'd probably be?
Oh man, I have at this point I have no idea.
At this point,
yeah, like I don't even know. And it looks like the variety kit. I'm looking at the box. Let me see, like, because from the video we saw like what looked like them stepping on a pedal of some kind. Like, was that a bass drum? Was that like a car?
Yeah.
You know, there was also a what looked like a big stick, like for like a flight stick
too. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that chicken or whatever that thing was. So, I mean, we haven't even seen. We don't even know when that's being released. So there could be some really cool like flying games, maybe some dog fighting. We really don't. We don't know. Is that a bass drum? Like, is there potential for like, you know, playing multiple switches as an instrument and possibly making music with people?
Crazy, yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Cool. A Nintendo Labo guitar, that'd be pretty dope. That'd be cool. Then like Nintendo Labo Rock Band or Switch Music, the sequel to Wii Music.
Nobody wants that.
But also, one thing with Nintendo Labo I think is going to be really cool is how Nintendo would probably end up demoing this, even like maybe at E3 if they wanted to bring some Labo to E3, or even at like Nintendo Experience events like how they had during the Summer of Play last year, or the holiday play thing that they had at malls this like last holiday. I think that Nintendo Labo would demo really well in person for kids that don't have Nintendo Switches, or for parents that don't have that actual set for their kids yet. I think that would be really cool to like just do paper crafts with the kids at the stations, and then have them like make their own RC cars or whatever, and then have them race at the experience. Like, I think that would be a really fun hands-on thing to do from here on out, probably with Labo, if it actually does do pretty well with sales.
Yeah, and I mean that could be the kind of thing that they get like some kind of exclusive RC car from one of those things, you know. Yeah. So that adds a little extra excitement to the
get a special
to the
piece
overall
of cardboard.
experience.
That's funny.
Yeah,
and even with the and also with the Labo too, the customization, because they showed in the trailer that like obviously you can just color on these things with like Crayola markers, and they have like special tape that you can get. They actually have a customization kit that's like $10 that comes with Nintendo special stickers like with eyes like Mario, Peach, Bowser, KK Slider, and like Splatoon eyes. And then it has like a stencil set, and then it comes with special Nintendo Labo tape and like rainbow tape. And they're probably gonna make more than that with like other character designs on there too. But like, yeah, that's just creative potential with this is gonna be really cool. If they make it where you can actually just print out or get the stencils to just make your own Labo with like random cardboard that you have around the house, it's gonna be really cool to see how people actually end up modding and making their own things for these.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see somebody do like a larger piano, you know, like. And I wonder if the software is able to support that. Who knows?
People get like a whole like maybe 6 switches and make a full piano. Yeah.
Just change the octave of each switch. Oh man, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, we are on to some very interesting potential here. I don't think anyone actually expected this so soon after the Direct Mini that happened last week. So this was straight out of left field. So
yeah, so crazy. Only Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. And this comes out like I said, it comes out in April. So there's a lot of but after Kirby and before maybe Mario Tennis Aces too. So there's still some more stuff that could possibly drop between here and now. So, well, then and now. So
yeah, there's no other way to put it other than this is just so Nintendo. That's really all I can say about this.
Seriously. Oh, I'm probably gonna pick up at least the variety. I'm probably gonna pick up the variety kit the day this launches, probably, because like I said, I'm into crafts, so I'll probably pick this up. The robot kit, maybe. I'm not sure. It'll be interesting seeing like the streams of people just putting these together once this comes out, because people just can't just get it and then all of a sudden just play it. People are gonna have to actually put these together. So people are gonna be doing streams and stuff for it. That's gonna be funny.
Yeah, man. We're gonna see it, and I wonder, like, that robot. Like, you could technically get out extra cardboard, and the sky's the limit with how much. If you wanted to like make up a big cosplay or something, you totally could.
Mm-hmm. And did you see how it kind of looked like it was VR? So like I actually had to double take at that because I was trying to figure out how that was working. It actually looks like the Joy-Con with the IR sensor, I think, is on your head, and then there's another one in the backpack. I think tracing the motion or the button presses.
Yeah, I think the IR sensor's in the back so that it can read those gears and everything with the reflective tape. And then the one up by your head,
it's just tracking motion and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, just the way your head is moving around or something. Like,
this is probably going to be one of those things for sure, where it's like you have to play it to understand it. Like right before, like when the Switch first came out, you have to play it to get it. Yeah.
Definitely. And I can't wait to see some of the streams or even do some streaming with this goofy cardboard backpack.
This full body camera with the backpack and knocking over the bookshelves.
Jeez. Right. Hopefully it'll fit on my head.
But that is pretty much all we can cover at this moment for Nintendo Labo. Again, it comes out on April 20th in the US. I think it said April 27th in Europe. $60 and $80. Well, $70 and $80 is the price of entry for this. But yeah, thank you so much, Josh, for having this talk with me about Nintendo Labo. Man.
Yeah, it was a good time. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. Once again, you could probably you can shameless plug yourself again here at the end so people can find you for sure.
Yeah, you're going to find me on Twitter, Twitch, everywhere is N64Josh, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all that stuff. So all the places are just N64Josh. I stream mostly Nintendo games fairly regularly and try to put out regular videos on YouTube as well. So also the Nintendo Powercast, if you like podcasts, you can find that anywhere podcasts are available.
Yeah, not the Nintendo Power Podcast, but the Nintendo Powercast.
That's right. Right.
Good stuff. Really good listen. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. And again, guys, I will see you on the next video. Later.